A deeper look into the fundamentals of atomic habits to gain a deeper understanding of the 4 laws of behavior change. The first 3 chapters of the book Atomic Habits, which explains the fundamentals, are discussed in the previous video. In this video will go into further depths of how to master your behavior change process. Welcome to SciScape. Starting with the first law, make it obvious, discussed in chapter 4. The first law is to make it obvious. With enough practice, your brain will pick up on the cues that predict certain outcomes without consciously thinking about it. Once our habits become automatic, we stop paying attention to what we are doing. The process of behavior change always starts with awareness. You need to be aware of your habits before you can change them. Pointing and calling raises your level of awareness from a non-conscious habit to a more conscious level by verbalizing your actions. The habits scorecard is a simple exercise you can use to become more aware of your behavior. Chapter 5, the first law of behavior change is to make it obvious. The 2 most common cues are time and location. Creating an implementation intention is a strategy you can use to pair a new habit with a specific time and location. The implementation intention formula is I will behavior at time in location. Habit stacking is a strategy you can use to pair a new habit with a current habit. The habit stacking formula is after current habit, I will new habit. Chapter 6, small changes in context can lead to large changes in behavior over time. Every habit is initiated by a cue. We are more likely to notice cues that stand out. Make the cues of good habits obvious in your environment. Gradually, your habits become associated not with a single trigger, but with the entire context surrounding the behavior. The context becomes the cue. It is easier to build new habits in a new environment because you are not fighting against old cues. Chapter 7, make your bad cues not obvious. This practice is an version of the first law of behavior change. Rather than make it obvious, you can make it invisible. I'm often surprised by how effective simple changes like these can be. Remove a single cue and the entire habit often fades away. Self-control is a short-term strategy, not a long-term one. It's easier to avoid temptation than resist it. You may be able to resist temptation once or twice, but it's unlikely you can muster the willpower to override your desires every time. Instead of summoning a new dose of willpower whenever you want to do the right thing, your energy would be better spent optimizing your environment. This is the secret to self-control. Make the cues of your good habits obvious and the cues of your bad habits invisible. The second law, make it attractive. Chapter 8. The second law of behavior change is to make it attractive. You're more likely to find a behavior attractive if you get to do one of your favorite things at the same time. Habits are a dopamine-driven feedback loop. When dopamine rises, so does our motivation to act. Perhaps you want to hear about the latest celebrity gossip, but you need to get in shape. Using temptation bundling, you could only read tabloids and watch reality shows at the gym. Maybe you want to get a pedicure, but you need to clean out your email inbox. Solution: only get a pedicure while processing overdue work emails. The strategy is to pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. Chapter 9. We don't choose our earliest habits, we imitate them. We follow the script handed down by our friends and family, our church, our school, our local community, and society at large. Each of these cultures and groups comes with its own sets of expectations and standards. When and whether to get married, how many children to have, which holidays to celebrate, how much money to spend on your child's birthday party. In many ways, these social norms are the invisible rules that guide your behavior each day. Often, you follow the habits of your culture without thinking, without questioning, and sometimes without remembering. As the French philosopher Michel de Montaigne wrote, the customs and practices of life in society sweep us along. Everyone wants to belong. If you grow up in a family that rewards you for your chess skills, playing chess will seem like a very attractive thing to do. If you work in a job where everyone wears expensive suits, then you'll be inclined to splurge on one as well. If all of your friends are sharing an inside joke or using a new phrase, you'll want to do it too, so they know that you get it. Behaviors are attractive when they help us fit in. The culture we live in determines which behaviors are attractive to us. We tend to adopt habits that are praised and approved of by our culture because we have a strong desire to fit in and belong to the tribe. We tend to imitate the habits of three social groups: the close, family and friends; the many, the tribe; and the powerful, those with status and prestige. One of the most effective things you can do to build better habits is to join a culture where 1. Your desired behaviors is the normal behavior, and 2. You already have something in common with the group. Normal behavior of the tribe often overpowers the desired behavior of the individual. Most days, we'd rather be wrong with the crowd than be right by ourselves. If a behavior can get us approval, respect and praise, we find it attractive. Chapter 10. The inversion of the second law of behavior change is to make it unattractive instead of making it attractive, to make you less likely to do the habit you don't want to do. The key to finding and fixing the causes of your bad habits is to reframe the associations you have about them. It's not easy, but if you can reprogram your predictions, you can transform a hard habit into an attractive one. A craving is just a specific manifestation of a deeper underlying motive. Your brain did not evolve with this desire to smoke cigarettes or to check Instagram or to play video games. At a deep level, you simply want to reduce uncertainty and relieve anxiety, to win social acceptance and approval, or to achieve status. Look at nearly any product that is habit forming, and you'll see that it does not create a new motivation, but rather latches onto the underlying motives of human nature. Find love and reproduce using Tinder. Connect and bond with others browsing Facebook. Win social acceptance and approval posting on Instagram. Reduce uncertainty searching on Google. Achieve status and prestige playing video games. Your habits are modern day solutions to ancient desires, new versions of old vices. The underlying motives behind human behavior remain the same. Here's the powerful part. There are many different ways to address the same underlying motive. One person might learn to reduce stress by smoking a cigarette. Another learns to ease their anxiety by going for a run. Your current habits are not necessarily the best way to solve the problems you face. They are just the methods you learned to use. Once you associate a solution with the problem you need to solve, you keep coming back to it. Habits are attractive when we associate them with positive feelings, and unattractive when we associate them with negative feelings. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow along for more to come, and until then, cheerio.